Okay. One thing I want to know is what grade you people have just finished. How many of you have just finished the 3rd grade? And how many of you have just finished the 4th grade? And how many of you just finished the 5th grade? And now there's somebody still left out. How many of you just finished the 6th grade? Okay. And Nancy, what did you just finish?
4th.
4th. Okay. Appreciate your helping us out today. Tell you what we want to do. You may not know yet. Do you know what we're going to do?
No.
Mathematics. Right. Quite a few of us think people your age are extremely good at discovering things in mathematics science. We want to see if this is really true and have TV cameras around to watch when you do it. And so I'm going to start by asking you some sort of stupid questions, but I'll really get to some harder ones later. Okay? And here's a stupid one. It says 3 plus box equals 5. And the stupid question is, what can I put in the box to make that true as if you didn't all know? Ruth? 2. That's right. If I put a 2 in the box, that'll be true. Now, let's see. What could I put in the box to make it false? Kate? 8. I bet that would do. If I put an 8 in the box, it would be false. 3 plus 8 equals 5 is false. Is that right? Okay. If I don't put anything in, I'm going to call it open. So when it just says 3 plus box equals 5, I'll call that open. And I'm going to call this the truth set. Meaning that if I put that in there, it'll be true. Okay? And I can do the same sort of thing here with words. I can say blank is sitting in the front row. Blank is sitting in the front row, and that's open the way it stands, but when I say Joan is sitting in the front row, is it true or false? Laurie is sitting in the front row. Bob is sitting in the front row. You don't really know which Bob I mean, but it's false anyhow. Bruce is sitting in the front row. Nancy is sitting in the front row. What would make it true? Peggy.
Katie's sitting in the front row.
Katie is sitting in the front row, and I guess that's sort of right twice. You're Kate sub 1. Kate sub 1 is sitting in the front row, and Kate sub 2 is sitting in the front row. And you're Kate sub 2. If I put either of those names in, it's true. Is that right? Who else? Nancy. Ruth. Ruth is sitting in the front row. Who else? Marianne.
Betsy.
Betsy is sitting in the front row. Now have I got everybody?
No.
I haven't got everybody. Who'd I leave out? Ann, who'd I leave out? Okay, if I put any of those names in, it'll be true. Is that right? And if I put anybody else's name in here, it'll be false, and so on. So we agree about that. Just to make sure we agree on what's open and what's true and what's false, let me try a couple of problems, see if we agree. And this is going to say 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. And it's going to say 37 plus 53 equals 80. And it's going to say 7 times box equals 21. And it's going to say 2 times box equals 5. And it's going to say 1/10 plus 1/10 equals 3 1/2. Supposed to say 3 1/2, isn't it? And this is going to say 2 times box equals 2 1/2. And now you tell me which are true and which are false and which are open. How about the top one? 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. True, false, or open? True. True. Is that right? Next one, 37 plus 53 equals 80. True, false, or open? Joan.
False.
Is that right? It is. She says it's false. 7 times box equals 21. True, false, or open? Peggy.
It's open.
It's open. Okay. Let me suggest that you don't try to stand up. I don't think that you need to do that just for this. What's the truth set for that? Bob.
7 times 3.
3 in the box would make it true. Huh? So I'll write the truth set with big brackets that way. 2 times box equals 5. True, false, or open? Yeah.
False.
False. Is that right? 2 times box equals 5. Marianne.
Open.
Who's right? Let's see, who's right?
I don't know.
You think Marianne is right? Bob.
Yes, because 2.5 times 2 is 5.
So I should erase the false and say that it's open.
Right.
And you already answered the next question. And what's the question that he just answered with 2.5?
What would make it true?
Yeah, what would make it true? And he says 2.5 would, and I thought that's right. 1/10 plus 1/10 equals 3 1/2. True, false, or open. Right.
False.
Really is. False. 2 times box equals 2 1/2. True, or false, or open. True.
Open.
I bet you're right. What should I put in the box to make it true? Give up? You don't give up.
1 1/4?
1 1/4, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess it turns out that we do agree on what's true and what's false and what's open. I'll have to find harder problems, huh, Kate?
I think number 2 is true.
Kate says number 2 is true. How about that?
It is. No.
Barbara?
No, because, because it'd be 90, because, 7 and 3 is 10, and you have to add carry the 1 to make
Who's
it
right?
90.
Marianne? I guess, so I should say true or false here?
False.
Kate, what do you think? False. Now it says false. Okay. Try some harder problems. Do you think I can make up some problems that you can't do?
Yeah.
None of you can do.
Yeah.
3 plus 2 times box equals 11. That's open. Yes. What would make it true? Bob.
4.
It's 4. Is that right? Is that right? Let's try it and see. If I put a 4 in the box, it says 2 times 4 is 8. It says 3 plus 8 equals 11. Is that right? Is that right? Really right. Okay. One more try at making one you can't do. It says 3 plus 2 times box equals 10. Give up? Give up? No, you don't give up. Ruth?
3.5.
Ruth says 3.5. How about that? I put 3.5 in the box. It says 2 times 3.5 is, how much is that?
7.
7. And so it says 3 plus 7 equals 10, and that would be, right?
Right.
Is she always right?
Yeah.
Try some harder problems. I know some harder problems. Before I can do some harder problems, I have to check up on 2 things that you may already know about. One of them is something called the rule for substituting. And the rule for substituting says, if I have an open sentence with several boxes in it, then whatever number I put in one box, I must put the same number in all the other boxes, and that's called the rule for substituting. Somebody want to repeat that so we make sure we agree on it? What does the rule for substituting say? Nancy?
If you put a number in one box, and you have to put the same number in the other box.
Okay. Now I call that Nancy's rule for substituting so we can remember what it is. Okay, that's Nancy's rule for substituting. And now, it says box times box equals 16. And, I'm not going to ask you that. I would like you to substitute so that what you do is legal according to Nancy's rule for substituting, and the statement you get is false.
8 times 8.
Didn't hear you.
8 times 8.
He said 8 times 8. My question is, did he succeed in doing what he wanted to do?
No. Yes.
I think he did. Yeah, sure, he succeeded in doing what he set out to do. He said, substitute so that it will be a false statement, and 8 times 8 equals 16 is false. Right? And so that it'll be okay according to Nancy's rule for substituting, and it is because he's got an 8 in all the boxes. Okay. This time, I'd like you to substitute so that it's wrong, according to Nancy's rule for substituting, illegal according to Nancy's rule for substituting, and the statement you get is true. Frank?
2 times 8.
2 in one box, 8 in the other box. How about it? Did it work?
That's 6.
The way we wanted, didn't it? Wrong by Nancy's rule, but 2 times 8 equals 16 is a true statement. Okay, could you make it wrong both ways? Make it illegal by Nancy's rule for substituting and get a statement that's false. Marianne?
8 times 4.
8 times 4, how about that? 8 times 4 equals 16 false, and it's illegal according to Nancy's rule to set an 8 in one box and a 4 in the other box. And now I asked you 3 stupid questions. I'll let you ask the next question. What's the sensible question about this problem? Kate?
What's legal to Nancy's rule and is 6.
What's legal according... Yeah.
And makes it a true statement.
Okay. What's legal according to Nancy's rule, and what makes it a true statement? And that's her question. Can anybody answer her question? Laurie.
So 4 times 4.
Laurie says 4 times 4. How about that? Is that right? Okay. So I'll write it like that. That's the true question. That's really the sensible question, Kate's question. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah. Now we're ready for some hard problems, but I want to check up on one more thing before we can do hard problems. And that is, do you people know how to add and subtract?
Yeah.
You do. Check up and see. We have a pet store where we sell dogs and cats and trained rattlesnakes and alligators and crocodiles and things people want for pets, ants, things like that. And we come in on Monday morning and we feed the dogs and the cats and the trained rattlesnakes and the crocodiles and the ants and so on. And we unlock the cash register, which has a lot of money in it. And now somebody comes in to buy something, and I want you to make up something and tell me what he comes in to buy. What does he come in to buy? Bob, what does he come in to buy?
Comes in to buy a rattlesnake.
He's in to buy a trained rattlesnake named Betsy. How much does he have to pay us for one trained rattlesnake named Betsy? Marianne?
Oh, $2.
$2. Special this week on trained rattlesnakes named Betsy. Okay, I have another stupid question for you. We wrap up his rattlesnake, and he goes, and we ring up his money, and my question is there more money in our cash register now than there was when we came in this morning, or less? Peggy?
Well,
Is that right? Let's see.
I think there's more.
Who's right? Kate, who's right?
Well, I think there was more.
Laurie.
Well, if you didn't put it in, then it would be just
Oh, but we put it in. We're
well,
good
then it
stockkeepers.
would be more.
You think it's more?
I think it's more.
And she's always right, so it must be more. How much more? How much more money is in the cash register now than there was before this all came in? Peggy, you don't agree, huh?
Well, you said before you came in the morning.
Yeah,
But when
more?
you came in the morning, you took the money out of the cash register.
Oh, no. We left all the money there. And now somebody came in and bought a trained rattlesnake named Betsy and paid us $2 and put that in the cash register.
Well, then you have more.
And now I have more. How much more? How much more?
$2 more.
Is that right? Okay. Somebody brings something back and wants their money back on it. What is it?
A trained crocodile.
Trained crocodile. Okay. How much do we give him back on this trained crocodile? Peggy.
$8,000.
$8,000. Give him back $8,000 on this for one used trained crocodile. Okay, is there more money in the cash register now than there was when we came in this morning and unlocked the door and fed the dogs and the cats and the crocodiles and the rattlesnakes, or is there less? Marianne.
Probably is less.
She says it's probably less. Let's see.
I think there's less.
You think there's less? Ruth.
There's less.
There's less. Kate.
I think there isn't any left in the game.
Oh, we had a lot of money in the cash register. There's some left still. You think there's less? How much less? Anybody know? Bob, how much less?
$8,000 left.
I bet that's not right. Kate.
$7,998.
Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
Ruth, is that right? Ruth says that's right. So that was $7,998 less. And how can I write that to make it clear that it's less? Anybody know?
8,000 minus 10.
Well, something like that. I'm going to write this 7,998 to show that it's less with a little minus sign up there and call it negative, okay? So it's negative 7,998. All right? Less. But we're not through. Somebody else comes in and buys something. What do they buy? Laurie.
A dog.
Dog. And how much they pay for this dog?
$10.
$10? All right, they pay $10 for a dog. Now, is there more money in our cash register than there was when we came in this morning and unlocked the door and fed the dogs and the cats and the ants and the alligators, or is there less?
Less.
Does anybody know how much less? Sorry?
$6,998 less.
Is that right? Peggy, is that right?
No.
Peggy says that's not right. Peggy?
$7,788.
Now I'm confused. Is that right?
No. Yes.
Say it again, somebody. Frank?
$7,988.
Yeah, but that's not what she said.
I meant 7,900.
Okay. So that's 7,988. Did I do that right? And it's less, and to show that it's less, what do I do if you didn't know? Yeah, put a little minus sign, and how do I read that? Anybody remember? Bruce, how do I read it?
Negative.
Right, that's negative 7,988, okay? It's been a bad morning. End of that day. We put it out to lunch, sign up, and go home. Monday morning, 1 week later, okay, same story. We come in and unlock the door and feed the dogs and cats and alligators and unlock the cash register, which still has a lot of money in it. And somebody comes in and buys something. What do they buy? Nancy?
A parakeet.
Parakeet. How much do they pay for one parakeet?
$2.50.
$2.50. To make it easier, I'll say $3. Stupid question. Is there more money in the cash register or less than there was when we came in this morning and unlocked the door and fed the dogs and cats and alligators?
More.
More. How much more? Anybody know? Yeah.
$3.
$3 more. Somebody brings something back. Piggy.
Someone brings back the parakeet because it wouldn't sing.
Somebody brings back a parakeet. And how much do we give them back on one used parakeet? Let's see. $3. You say so? All right. Is there more money in the cash register now than there was when we came in this morning and unlocked the door? Or less? Marianne.
The same amount as there was in
Okay, I say is there more or less, and she says it's the same amount, and I bet she's right. We're right back where we started. Huh? Somebody else comes in and buys something. What do they buy? Sue, what do they buy?
a box of ants.
Box of ants. Okay, they buy a box of ants. How much they pay for a box of ants?
$2. $7.89.
$7.89, and I'll round that off to the $8. Okay, is there more money? Is there more money in the cash register now than there was when we came in this morning, or less? Bruce.
More.
Does anybody know how much more?
$8.
And how do you suppose I can write that to show that it's $8 more? Peggy.
You put a plus before it?
That's exactly what I do a little plus up high like that. And how do I read that, do you think? Okay, how do you suppose I read it?
Positive.
That's just what I do, positive A. Okay, that was a better one. Okay, end of that business. We're all through with that business. Now I'll start my problem. Give up? Give up? Okay, hard problem. Give up?
No.
Says box times box minus 5 times box plus 6 equals 0.
Huh?
How do you give up? I'll give you a clue or two. There are two numbers. Either one of them will work. They're both whole numbers. And you remember Nancy's rule for substituting. Whatever number you put in this box, you must put the same number in all the other boxes. And who's good at guessing? And you look like you should be good at guessing. You want to look at this and guess a number that you think might work? 5. And guesses 5. Let's try it and see. If I put a 5 there, what must I do?
Put a 5 in the other two boxes.
Put a 5 in all the other boxes. And so that says 25. Somebody came in and spent $25. We're $25 richer. Is that right? Minus. Somebody came in and we gave him back $25 on something. And now are we richer or poorer?
Same.
Same. And then a third fellow came in and spent $6, and now is there more money in the cash register or less than there was when we came in this morning? And
More money.
more. And how much more? Anybody know?
$6.
So I'll write that as positive 6. Okay, that really comes out to be positive 6. Now, suppose I said that it's 0, which is what this statement says. Is that true or false? What did you say? False. So, I'll keep track of numbers that don't work, and I now know 1. 5 doesn't work. Okay? Who else is good at guessing? That wasn't a bad guess.
2.
Oh.
Nope.
Now I forgot to tell you something. There's a secret way of doing this. Do you know the secret way of doing this?
No.
Okay, well, if you do know, don't tell. Okay? And if anybody else knows the secret way of doing it, don't tell. I won't tell. You won't tell. Anybody else knows, they won't tell. Okay? You're not going to tell anything about the secret?
No.
Okay.
Well, if it was 10, then for an answer, you would get a positive number as far as the...
Well, now, what is the Bob said?
2.
2. I think that's right. Let me try it. If it
You
works.
get a negative number.
Well, we'll see.
You can get a negative.
I put a 2 in the first box. What must I do as if you didn't all know?
But you have to do it.
Put a 2 in the other two boxes. Put them to 4. Somebody came in and spent $4 with $4 richer. Is that right? Minus. Minus how much, Lori?
10.
Minus 10. Somebody came in, we gave them back $10. Are we richer or poorer now? Poorer. How much poorer? Anybody know?
$6.
$6 poorer. So that much really adds up to negative 6. And now, this fellow here came in, and he spent $6, and now are we richer or poorer than we were when we started this morning? Bob,
The poor.
is that right? Bruce?
We're just the same.
We're just the same, Mary Ann.
We're just the same.
That's what I thought. We were $6 behind, but this fellow came in and spent $6, and now we're right back where we started, right? So when I say that's equal to 0, is that true or false?
True.
And so when Bob said that 2 would work, was he right or not?
Yes, he was right.
Sure was. And you're not going to tell the secret, are you?
No.
Okay, don't. I won't tell either. Who knows the other number? There's another number that will also work besides 2. Frank?
1.
1? Try it and see. So if I put a 1 in that box, I have to put a 1 in all the other boxes. 1 in all the boxes. 1 times 1. Somebody came in and spent $1. We're $1 richer. Minus. Minus how much? As if you didn't all know.
5.
Minus 5. At that point, are we richer or poorer?
Poor.
And how much poorer? Does anybody know? The other Bob.
$4.
$4 poorer. So that much really adds up to a negative 4, doesn't it? But we're not through. This third fellow comes in and he spends $6, and now what do we have?
Positive 2.
Positive 2, Bob said. Positive 2. And now, so when I say that's equal to 0, is that true or false? Marianne.
False.
And so, 1 goes there. Doesn't work. Okay.
4.
4. Let's see, put them forward. 16 minus 20. How much is that?
$4.
Positive 4 or negative 4?
Positive 4. Negative 4.
Who's right? Which is right? Ruth.
Negative 4.
Ruth says negative 4, and so that's probably what it is. So 6, how much is that? Bob.
Positive 2.
I bet that's right. That must really put that all together. That comes out to be positive 2. So when I say it's equal to 0, what that statement says, is that true or false? Joan?
False.
False. Another number that doesn't work. Okay. What number does work? I don't know whether I dare ask you or not.
3.
You're not going to tell. You won't tell the secret.
No.
Okay, don't tell. Who knows the secret? You're not going to tell.
I don't know. I don't know.
I put 3 in. Let's try it. 3 in all the boxes. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 15. How much is that?
-4.
No,
I mean -6.
-6 is right. Huh? -6, then plus 6. How much is that?
0.
0. And so when I say that's 0, is that true or false? True, isn't it? And so 3 works. And you won't tell the secret. Is that right? Who knows the secret?
He said so himself.
What?
He said so himself. He doesn't know it.
He doesn't know it.
Guessing.
Oh, well, then he can't tell it. Good. But the main thing is don't tell it, okay? Try another one. Oh, I got lots of these. There's box times box minus something or other times box plus something or other equals 0. And it's going to be the same kind of story. There are 2 numbers. Neither of them will work. They're both whole numbers. And it's going to say box times box minus 12 times box plus 35 equals 0. How about that one? That's so hard that even Ruth can't do it. Who's good at guessing? Okay. 6. I'll tell you that doesn't work, and if you really don't believe me, I'll try it, but I think I told you the truth. It won't work. So,
4.
I'll tell you about that too. That doesn't work, turns out. Peggy.
12. 8.
I have to think about that a minute. No, 8 doesn't work. And
3.
7, that works, and you're not going to tell, are you?
I don't think it is.
Okay, don't tell. 7 is one of the numbers that works. 8.
5.
And 5 is the other number that works. And you're not going to tell, are you?
I figured it out.
All right, but don't tell.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
This says box times box minus something or other times box plus something or other equals 0. And it says box times box minus 13 times box plus 22 equals 0. And it's the same story. There are 2 numbers, and either of them will work. And they're both whole numbers. Thanks.
6.
And that is not one of them. And
3.
3, no, that's not one of them. Let's see.
7.
No, that's not one of them. Even wonder if I didn't do it right. Yes, I did it right. Peggy.
8.
No, that's not one of them. 8. No, that doesn't work. And
4.
4. No, it doesn't work. 2.
9.
Nope, 9 doesn't work. Really found one nobody can do. Marianne?
11.
That's one of the 2 numbers. And
15.
nope. Kate?
2.
2, and that's the other one. I'll try another one. Try 1 or 2 more of these, then we'll do something else. Let's see. This says box times box minus something other times box plus something other equals 0. And this says, I know, box times box minus 8 times box plus 15 equals 0. Marianne?
3.
That's one of the 2 numbers. Marianne?
5.
Is that right? 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ruth says that's right.
And I found out the secret.
You know the secret, too. It says box times box minus something or other times box plus something or other equals 0. And I hope I didn't run out of numbers. I guess I didn't. Box times box minus 10 times box plus 21 equals 0. And don't say what the numbers are, but just put up your hand if you think you know both of the 2 numbers. All right, now, Marianne, Bob, and Peggy, do you want to go over in the corner and see if you agree? And if you agree, you're the team of experts, okay? Laura, you want to go and see if you agree? Ruth, see if you agree. You need somebody who's saying guess. I can't have everybody on the team of experts. Do you want to be on the team of experts? Okay, Ruth. Ruth is coming to see if she agrees, too. You agree?
3 of us do. Yeah.
3 of you agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's the team of experts. Who are the 3 who agree?
No, wait, we have 2 and 2.
Oh. Anybody else think they know?
One of them doesn't know.
Anybody else think they know the 2 numbers? Katie, Ann, do you know? They may never agree. This is known as trial by jury. Can 3 of you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you 3 are the team of experts then. Whoever the 3 are who agree, come up and be the team of experts. And the other 2 can go and help guess. Who's on the team of experts? Mary Ann and Ruth and Peggy. You agree. Do you agree with them? Oh, you agree. So 4 of you agree.
No, that's not what we
Oh, okay. They're the team of experts. Peggy and Ruth and Mary Ann. Okay, you better look at them because I want to ask you. In fact, I'll give you the chalk, Peggy, and if anybody says a number that's right, you can put it in the truth set over there. Who's guessing? Bob.
6.
Experts?
No.
They say no. Frank.
2.
2. Experts?
No.
The experts having a little consultation here. No. The experts say no. Nancy.
7.
Expert?
Yes.
Ruth says right, and so it's probably right. Laurie.
I had 4 of it.
Expert? Ruth says no. Sue.
3. Right.
Good. Thank you. How many secrets are there? Don't say what they are, but how many secrets are there? Laurie?
Well, I have 1.
You know 1. How many secrets do you know?
1.
1.
I don't actually know, but that's...
Okay. All right, let me try another one here. I'll find out who really knows how to do it. This is one nobody can do. Box times box minus 12 times box plus 20 equals 0. That's a plus sign. You might never know. Okay, box times box minus 12 times box plus 20 equals 0. Now I need to get do you want to be the team of experts for this one too? Or you agree? You all agree on what the numbers are? Make sure you agree. She doesn't agree with you. Okay, well, who wants to see if they agree with Ruth? We'll try and see. We may have 2 teams of experts. Frank and Bob.
We have 4.
Then I don't agree with you.
Come back to you, experts.
I bet you can't. Do you think you know? You see if you agree with Ruth. You go in another corner and see if you agree with Ruth. Ann, do you want to get in on that? Or you want to stay and guess? Bob, do you want to see if you agree with them?
Yeah, they both work.
Bet they don't. I bet you're not right.
Numbers and they all work.
Bet they don't. We haven't got any experts, is that right? Frank, you want to be an expert?
Okay.
How many numbers have you got?
1.
I tell you there are 2 numbers that'll work. Exactly 2. Not more and not less. And have you got 2 numbers that work?
4.
Now, don't say what they are, but you have 2 numbers. No, you have 4 numbers. Who has 2 numbers that work?
I got them now.
Laurie and Mary Ann. You have 2, but not 4.
Yeah, that's 1.
You have exactly 2. Okay, Laurie's the expert. Peggy, have you got exactly 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 2.
All right, see if you 4 people agree. All right. We'll see. All right, 5, whatever. They may never agree. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, they're the experts. Bob,
2. No.
they're not the experts. You're a new team of experts. 2 works.
I had both.
Oh, no, don't give away too much. 2 works, turns out.
Oh, no.
Now, who wants to be the team of experts now? Let's try a new team of experts. Bruce, Frank, Ann, and Nancy, and Bob. See if you agree.
Oh, boy.
Let's see if you agree with them if you want to. Or you want to say and guess.
I do.
You agree with them. Don't see if you agree with them if you want to. Gotta have somebody left to guess, though. We can't have everybody off being on the team of experts.
Yeah, we got it.
You agree? You all agree?
Yeah.
My word. Okay, who's guessing? Anybody left to guess? Marianne. That's right. Those are the only 2 numbers it turns out that work. Another problem. I'll just erase up here and put it in. And this says box times box minus 9 times box plus 20 equals 0. And there are 2 numbers that work. And who wants to be on the team of experts? Peggy, Frank, Bruce, Bob, you want to be in the team of experts? Okay, you go and see if you agree. Marianne, you want to be in the team of experts? Go see if you agree with them. I know what one of them thinks.
We got it.
You've got it. The 3 of you agree. Okay, everybody except Frank agrees. Is that right? You don't agree. They agree. Okay, so they're the team of experts. Who wants to guess? Nancy.
4? Yeah.
The experts say yes. You want to put that in the good stuff there? And Ann.
5?
Yes. And I guess that's right. One last problem that really maybe nobody can do. You want to take a chance and be the experts for this?
Yeah.
You really can't do it. Okay, this is going to say box times box, 21 times box plus 20 equals 0. Not even the experts can do that. Who wants to guess?
I really don't know for that.
Your rule doesn't work for that. You think you know? Some tell me. Nope. Good idea, but it doesn't work. Nope. The experts can't do this. You're trying. You can give up, you know.
No.
No, you don't want to give up. Nancy, you want to guess?
That's it.
Yeah.
10 and 11?
Nope. Doesn't work. Sorry.
16 and 5?
16 and 5 experts, is that right?
I don't think so. No.
Bob,
I know one of them, 1.
you're right. He said 1, and he's right.
20?
Now, if she's on the team of experts and she guesses, who knows whether she's right? Is she right? Is she right?
No.
Take a vote. How many? Say it again so everybody knows.
20?
Peggy said 20. How many people think she is right?
don't know.
Who thinks she's not right?
Come on.
Maybe we better try it and see. 20. 20. And let's see, 20 times 20 is how much?
20.
But it isn't.
It's not 40. Oh, 20 times 20. 20 times 20. 400.
400. Minus 21 times 20.
No.
Minus 21 times 20?
Minus 420.
Oh, that's right. Minus 420. Minus 420. That much adds up to, or if you put those two together, 400 minus 420, that's a negative 20. And then you add 20 and say that's 0, and is Peggy right?
Yeah.
She sure is. 1 and 20. Okay, so much for that. Want to try something else? And let's see what else we might try. Let's think a minute about that. I know what we'll do. I know a game that's quite a hard game, but I've got to find something hard if I'm going to do it with you people, I guess. So, we'll play this hard game. And we need 2 teams. And Peggy, how will we get teams? Split the class or have captains or what?
Captain.
You want a captain and choose up?
Would you? That would be smart. I'll be a captain.
Okay, who was it who got that 1? It seems to me he ought to be a captain. Bob, you got that 1, you want to be a captain, and you got the 20, you want to be the other captain?
Yeah.
Come pick up teams fast while I'm writing on the board.
Boys go first, because they don't have to move. Come on.
Okay, if Bob picks you go over that way, and if Peggy picks you come over here.
Nancy. Robert. Ann. Lori. Your turn. Your turn. Okay. Ruth. Ann. Joan.
You all read their names, just Barbara and Betsy are the 2 people. You've just been picked by popular acclaim for that team. And Betsy is on this team. And now as you sit down, pull the chairs apart a little bit so I can tell which team you're on. And Bob, will your team sit on the outside here? And Peggy, have your team sit on the inside here, okay? And pull the chairs apart a little bit so there's an aisle between you. So I can tell who's on which team. You want to pull your chairs in a little so I can get the teams separated. Now, this is a modification of an old Japanese game known as Go, which is a very difficult game. We've modified it a little bit, and it works like this. You're going to tell me 2 numbers, and the first number, you can use these sign numbers, incidentally, the way we did in the pet store problem, like a +2 or -2 or +1 or -1 or something like that. And the first number you tell me, I put in the box, the second number in the triangle. And if you don't say any sign, that's the same thing as a positive sign. So if you said just 2, 3, that's the same as +2, +3, okay? If you said 2, 3, I'd put a 2 in the box, 3 in the triangle, and then I count from the heavy lines. I count over 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then I'd mark a solid dot if you're on Bob's team, and I'd mark a circle if you're on Peggy's team. Okay? Now I'll show you how it works. The Japanese would say that a solid dot like that is connected. You only count connections along the lines, don't count diagonals. It's connected to 4 breathing spaces here. And if all those breathing spaces are taken by the other fellow's pieces, then this poor fellow gets erased. Of course, at the end, whoever has more points on the board wins, okay, whichever team has more points. And what goes for 1 point goes exactly the same way for a connected group of points. Suppose I have a solid dot there, and a solid dot there, and a solid dot there, and a circle here. Now, that circle isn't connected to these solid dots, okay? But the 3 solid dots are connected along lines. And altogether, that group has 1, 2, 3, 4 breathing spaces left. Is that right? So what would happen now?
It's still a breathing space.
You're right. I thought I'd catch somebody with that, but I didn't. They still have one breathing space, but what would happen now?
Bye-bye.
Now, bye-bye, they get erased, don't they? Sad.
Well, can you get one back in there if you want to?
Well, now that's a sort of complicated rule. Let me tell you about that. Before I do, let me show you what happens on the edge of the board. Suppose I had a circle there. How many breathing spaces does he have if we're pretending that's the edge of the board?
2.
You're right. And so it would take only 2 solid dots to get him erased. Okay? Now, Bob wanted to know, can you play back into something like this? Now, this is a little breathing space that's surrounded by the circles. It's their own private breathing space here.
Mm-hmm.
And the Japanese call that an eye. Now, you can play into an eye if you have a breathing space left. So the solid dot people could play there if they wanted to. They won't stay there long if they do, because the circle people just have to play there, and that's the end of that. But they may play there if they want to. Now, suppose you got a situation like this. If you played a solid dot there right now, he'd have no breathing spaces, so he gets erased right away. But there's one rule that if he plays there, if he's taking away the last breathing space for some of the people who surround him, then they get erased instead. So suppose I have solid dots all around the edges here, like this. And now it's the solid dot's turn. Now if the solid dots play in here, what happens?
Bye-bye.
The circles all get erased now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the circles all get erased. See, they don't have any breathing spaces left. You see how it works?
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll see as we go along.
Well,
And we play...
Does that one in the middle get erased too?
Oh, no. He survives because he made his own breathing spaces when he went there. He created all these
Well,
breathing
what if those aren't around there? What if all those dots aren't around there? It was just like that.
Oh, if the solid dots hadn't been around here and he played in there, he'd get erased.
Why wouldn't the other 2 get erased then? They didn't have any breathing spaces either then.
What other 2?
Well, there were 2 more in the center.
Well, that was a minute ago, but not in my new... We'll see as it comes along. Don't worry about it. We'll see, I think. That may not come up anyhow today. Okay, and I'll just play around the class in order, okay? So let's start with somebody, and the first player, because he's not had anybody to watch, can take his turn over. But after that, if you do something illegal, that's just bad. And so let's start with Sue.
I'll say 4 and 5.
4, 5. All right. Count from the heavy lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's illegal because there isn't any 4. And so if anybody else did that, it would be too bad, but she gets to take it over.
3 and 2.
3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and that's a circle right there. Bob.
-1 and -2.
All right, -1 and -2, and that's a solid dot right there. Peggy.
1 and 1.
1 and 1. 1 and 1, and that's a circle right there. The other Bob. Well, just try 2 numbers and see what happens. Try any 2 numbers.
-2 and -1.
All right, -2, -1. -2, -1, and that's a solid dot. Solid dot right there. Okay, and
1, 2.
1, 2. 1, 1, 2, and it's a circle right there. Nobody's going to surround anybody in this game. Frank.
-2 and 1.
-2, 1. -2, 1, and that's a solid dot right there. Let's see, Laurie.
-1 and -2.
-1, -2. -1, -2, and that's illegal because somebody's there already. Ruth.
-1, -3.
-1, -3. -1, -3, and that's a solid dot. Turn that solid dot. There. Okay. See, Lori, is it?
No.
No, Nancy turns it.
Minus 2 and minus 3.
Minus 2, minus 3. And that's the circle. There. See, Marianne? You get lots of advice in this game. It isn't always helpful, but you get it.
Minus 2 and okay, minus 2 and minus 2.
Okay, negative 2, and minus 2, minus 2. And that is a solid dot right there. And the Japanese have a word atari, which I think is spelled like this. Atari. Which means, watch out, you have only one breathing space left. And so Marianne says atari to you people, to the circle people. And let's see. Bruce, what are you going to do about that?
3 and 3.
3 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's the circle right there. All right. Barbara.
Me?
That's Barbara.
Minus 3 and minus 3.
Okay, either that or negative 3, whichever way you say. Negative 3, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's a solid dot here, and what happens? That poor circle. Erased. Where are we? Kate.
Minus 3. Minus 3 minus 1.
Minus 3 minus 1. And that's a circle right there. You have a question?
Could you move up on the solid line?
Oh, yeah, you can get there if you know how to do it. Whose turn is it? Ann? Is it your turn?
Minus 3 and minus 2.
Minus 3 minus 2. Solid dot right there. And so Ann says atari to you people. Laurie, you have a question.
Yes, I do. There's a circle right here and nothing there, and you erased the circle. No, he erased it, the one below.
I erased one down here.
Oh.
Okay. I think I did.
No, didn't you do that one too? Wasn't there?
Hope not. I shouldn't have. Let me see. Kate, you had a turn. I guess it's Joan's turn. Is that right? Peggy.
Well, if we had one of these up here, will both have erased?
No, they still have a breathing space here, and here, and here, and here.
Well, can you stay right here?
Yeah, if you know how to do it. Okay, and it's Joan's turn.
Minus 2 minus 1.
Minus 2, minus 1. Minus 2, minus 1, and that's illegal for somebody's there already. And that makes it Kate's turn.
Don't listen to it. Minus 3 and 0. Minus 3, 0.
Negative 3, 0. Negative 3, 0, and that's the solid dot right there. Now what happens? More column. You have a question?
Yes, I remembered it was, you erased that one, but there wasn't one in the left corner, a solid.
Well, you remember, you don't count connections along the diagonals. It's only along the straight lines.
Yeah? Oh.
Okay.
But would you still be able to erase them?
Yeah. If the edge is connected to any more breathing spaces, you get the rate. The Kate's turn, so it must be Betsy's turn now, is that right?
Yeah.
Who's ahead?
They are. Sort of.
Why are you letting them do
2
that?
and 3.
2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and that's a circle right there. And now I guess we're back to Bob.
Three zero.
3, 0. 1, 2, 3, 0, and that's a solid dot right there. Right, and let's see, you have to we're back to Susan.
Minus 1, minus 2.
Minus 1, minus 2. Minus 1, minus 2, and that's illegal. Somebody's there already. That's the other Bob.
One, 3.
1, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, and that's a solid dot there, is it? Solid dot right there. And now, let's see, whose turn? Peggy, your turn.
What did you do? How do you move up to that flower line?
Oh, you have to know how to do it.
No, I know what I'm gonna do. 2, 2.
2, 2. That's a circle right there.
But I throw something.
See, Frank?
0, 2.
0, 2. 0, 2, puts a solid dot right there.
They've lost up there.
And
I know how to do it now. You put a solid box there.
no, she played here, and I put a circle because
No, I played there.
you played there.
And
but
she just played. Well,
no,
was she?
no, Ann hasn't played yet. Frank's turn now.
Did I still play? I just went in your league before.
Oh, yeah, you still play.
Oh.
I guess you.
No, I didn't understand.
You need to play fast. Try and play fast, will you? Because we're going to run out of videotape.
No, I didn't play that. 2, 0.
2, 0. 1, 2, 0, and that's a circle right there. And now, let's see, whose turn is it now? Ruth? Okay, well, now let's try and play reasonably fast so we can get as much of the game on the film as
0, 1.
0, 1. 0, 1, and that's a solid dot right there. Now it's Laurie's turn.
0, 2.
0, 2. 0 and 1, 2, and that's illegal because somebody's there already. And please, question?
Well, how can you, when we say 0, 2, you can't make us go down. Yeah, because how in the world would anyone get down?
Oh, you have to know how to do that. Let me see, whose turn was it last? Ruth had the last turn, so now it's Laurie, so it's back to here. Mary Ann's turn. People who watch the tape are never going to know what finally happened. Can you give me a signal on about 40 seconds or so?
1, 0.
1, 0. 1, 0, and that's a solid dot right there. And we're just about through, so I think I better count up so they'll see how we count up if we stop now. Okay, counting up. For the circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 for the circles. For the solid dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so, you people won. Congratulations. Why did you let them do that to you?
We were boys, you see. It wasn't
That's
easy.
fine.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for helping us out today.